Welcome to Policy Lab. This video is going to be a channel overview. As it's a new channel, I wanted to give you guys a bit of a look at what I intend to be covering and the ideas I have for the government and the economy of the UK. Now, it's common knowledge that the UK isn't having the best time of it right now. Public trust in politicians and institutions is at an all-time low. The economy still hasn't recovered from the 2008 financial crisis. The housing market has basically become an unaffordable dream. Productivity has stopped improving. The price of basic goods like food and fuel has exploded. Wages aren't growing, civil tensions are growing, we are alone wedged between the US and the EU, our universities are collapsing, infrastructure is falling apart, councils are going bankrupt, the government can't fund basic services, our water and rivers are being poisoned right in front of us whilst they make billions in profit, the NHS is on its knees, our strategic industries like steel have been outsourced, our iconic brands are no longer owned by British companies, the Union is under immense pressure with nationalist movements in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And also, large parts of England don't even feel represented. The military is underfunded. And there's just a general feeling of hopelessness and that nothing can be done about it. Yeah, it's quite something, to say the least. And I see a lot of talk online and in person about how this nation is falling apart and how people would rather live elsewhere. And I get it. In my opinion, that's justified, as the governance of this country has been an absolute joke since at least Thatcher was elected. But I don't see a lot of people talk about how to fix the fundamental issues this country is facing. Too often what is spoken about is either minor changes, which to me seem like trying to stop a wildfire with a fire extinguisher, or really bold, outlandish claims like no NHS waiting lists, but not actually having a concrete plan to implement that, with demagoguery being one of the fundamental vulnerabilities of democracy, and no one wanting to fix the less fancy issues. I thought I'd take it upon myself to see if I could come up with some ambitious but achievable goals for the UK, whilst also fixing the fundamental flaws within our government. So, that's what this channel is going to be about. Trying to put out some positivity for the UK, and then refining these ideas now that they're in the public space with you guys in the comments. What I plan to cover is political and government reform, so the national and local government structure and how they should balance power through a new prefecture system, strengthening the union, election reform, total civil service reform through meritocracy, continuous learning, and digitisation, Bank of England reform through meritocracy, a new Department of Digital Security and Innovation, a vital style government back-end system, and very importantly, a new anti-corruption body based on the Singapore's model for our government. Next, we'll be looking at economic reform, such as a proper national development bank, special economic zones, consortiums and industrial revitalization, sovereign wealth funds, the Middleton strategy, agricultural reform, infrastructure development, advanced industrial revitalization, and local banking. Next, in energy and the environment, we have fossil fuel expansion, nuclear power, actually meeting our green commitments, and water company nationalization. After that, we have housing and urban development reform, looking at Japanese zoning and development laws and their community-based approach. After that, we have healthcare reform, where we'll be studying the world's top healthcare systems to see what we can be done, whether we should be going with an insurance-based model or the model we have now with the NHS just reformed. We will also be diving into education, taxes and funding, regional development outside of London, turning UK academic excellence into the economic prosperity we deserve, roads, rail, canals, and the horrific mismanagement of the London Stock Exchange and just the UK financial scene as a whole. So this was a brief overview of what I intend to cover on this channel. Please leave a like and subscribe if any of this interests you, and I'll see you guys next video where we will be covering national and local governance structure, strengthening the union, and election reform. See you guys.